Is there anything that you all are struggling with that I could give you an extra set of eyes and ears on?
Actually, my question would go well at this point because you mentioned like going back to our customers and saying, hey, now we're doing furniture. So one of my questions is like the client relationship is super important to us. But as you know, like at the end of a build, sometimes everyone's kind of ready for the project to end. Like we've had dirt, trucks and like months at a time where we're on their property. So my question to you is, do you have any feedback on how to kind of close kind of the build in a way that we can come back and introduce a new project or offer furniture, like circle back to them with that?
For sure. So I think, you probably have a way of engaging a client on the front end and then closing them on the back end, right?
Right.
And whatever that sort of client journey is, I would think about creating almost like a coined phrase around that. Like, what does a customer journey look like? So I'll give you an example. It's not apples to apples, but Zappos, right? The shoe people. Zappos has this thing called a pipeline, and if you work at Zappos, within 18 months, they chart out your career. Like in 18 months, you're going to be a manager, right? But these are the things that you have to hit. And so for you, it could be, the page system, and it's what does, from the signing of the agreement to when you break ground to everything else, like what does that look like? And from a marketing angle, it could be, when you decide to break ground, you literally have a break ground ceremony and you invite the client. And then once different milestones come in, you invite the client and you record them. And then at the end, I would literally have a mini party when the project is done. And you would allocate some of the budget, and you probably wouldn't need that much to have champagnes, balloons, like the key handing over, whatever it is. Like you have like this crazy experience where it's very if you've ever flown first class, like it's like you just feel special.
That's
right? And why don't think about a way to mimic that? And then at the end, it is a book that you can print from Shutterfly with all of the milestones and the pictures, and maybe there's like a website with a accumulated video that it's on pagetimworks.com / and there's like a private thing so that the client can see all of the videos and the milestones of everything being done and all of the people that touch their house, and saying, and just almost like bringing everybody that worked on the project to the forefront of it, right? Because everybody always operates in the shadows. But if you bring everything towards the front, what it does is it brings them closer to you. And then two, it makes it feel like a journey so that they're not just done. And then you feel funny going back to them. Hey, can you please give me a review? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this weird feeling because like you want the check, you're done, you're over it. Maybe they were annoying, maybe you were annoying, maybe there was a mess up that you had to fix so that you had to do some concessions, right? Like there's like this crazy feeling at the end. But if you kind of like wrap it up and you just make it feel like, oh my God, this is like like it's like we're giving birth, or we're like, this is a natural journey. Thank you for entrusting us for months, maybe a year in your.
Right.
That's right. That's good. That's really
the most important part of the biggest investment in your whole entire life. You've trusted us.
Yeah.
And then here's this, and it's like, here's this book to commemorate it. And it has all of the pictures, everybody, all of the team that worked on it, they signed it. At the end, there's a QR code that will take them to the video of the whole entire build, right?
Yeah.
And then and you can probably do this honestly with your current projects now. Like if you're in the middle of projects, you could just start introducing video and accumulate this, because then at the end, what you can do is just be like, if you really enjoyed this experience, please give us a 5-star review
Right.
on Google,
And
right?
that is one of the things on our kind of closing procedures, is that we do ask for a review. And the latest projects, we've been doing photos and then sending it to the client, like professional photos
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the space. But what you're describing sounds like this collective celebration. Like
It's a celebration.
we
Yeah.
just birthed this project together. It was hard and it was great and beautiful, all the things wrapped into it. But
It was hard, it was beautiful, it was great, it was stressful, it was, joyful.
Right.
Like, I mean, it could be one of those things too where you can invite your client to sit on the excavator with you while they're you know what I mean? Just like you just get them to, because you're, John, you're a family man, right? Like you're and involve your like have your family come to the ribbon cutting, have your family come to the ground, like invite their family, right? Those, and then and almost too create this wow factor where you can potentially do something extra.
Yeah.
Do something a little extra that went above and beyond, that they didn't even ask for. And it was, through maybe the intake process that you learn more about the family. They're like, oh, you know what? This person is like this, or this person is like this. They would really enjoy this. So that's one thing. Okay, so that's literally the first part. The second part is you can go back and you can do this right now to all of the clients that you've hit up in the past and just say, hey, look, we want to take a look at our project to see how it's holding up. And while you're there, you're literally just walking around, see what else you can build in there. And you're like, hey, we are starting to do some amazingly beautiful, locally sourced tables. And we're like hand selecting them, and I was wondering, but you have to do this in person. You have to do this in person.
Right.
And then I would use something like AI or Midjourney to like imagine what a table would look like in their space, right? Or in whatever, and then show some mock-ups, just like, hey, wondering if you're interesting. This is a new thing. We're going back to old. These tables would normally cost 10,000, but for old clients, we're knocking them down to 7,500. We only have 5 of them available. And as they come up, we're like hand selecting them so that it feels special, right? But then you literally go back to everybody over the past, 8 or so years that you've been around, and you just go back to everybody and say, hey, I just want to come back. I'd love to visit the project. And then while you're there, you're looking at how the project is holding up. You're taking a selfie with them. You're posting that to social. You are looking to see what else you can potentially build in there. And at the same time, you're introducing a new service. Right. That's what I would do. That's like, so create this wow experience, and then 2, go back to your old clients. And especially, just like if they didn't give a testimonial at the time, record yourself and record them giving a testimonial, transcribe it and say, hey, could you just post it at this link just so you could get the testimonial? And then just say, and then at the same time you say, we have this new, we're launching tables. Right. And it's totally locally sourced. That would be a very easy way for you to at least start testing out that service.
That's good.
Is that helpful?
Super helpful. Super helpful. So after closing, we wrap up a project. I've had the thought in the past, maybe we introduce a new project like, hey, we just wrapped this up. I know you're not ready, but in the future, we think maybe a pull house, like a timber framed pull house, would be a great addition. Do you think it's appropriate at that point, or do you give the client space, maybe
I
6
give
months?
him space. I
Okay.
give him space. I would give him space and then potentially refer something else that isn't a gajillion dollars in which you just
Right.
collected. Like, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to just, either people are like hungry to spend more money, or they want to enjoy the thing that they've spent so far.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
So I would just hold off, but like literally build a relationship.
Yeah.
I would build a relationship. I would, you know, it's a little too late now, but you know, look at the next set of holidays, and start inviting your clients and your past clients to different things,
Mhm.
barbecues and
Yeah.
Easter egg hunts, and like, just that's the vibe that you need to do, is to start pushing community
Mhm.
over everything.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I would say that primarily our business has been word of mouth. And John and his wife, his family, they are very community oriented. So this is kind of their
Mhm.
thing, which has been effective.
Yeah. I would literally, don't try to separate your customers. I would make sure that you can create events where everybody can come. Like, if you
Yeah.
have charity events, if you have, if you're going mountain biking, invite all your past customers to say, hey, I love mountain biking. If there's anybody that want to go mountain biking with me,
Right.
you can come. This is where I'm going.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
Just be friends.
create a community around your brand,
That's
Mhm.
good.
Yep. Let it
because
be.
then they're always going to refer more business to you. They're always going to like you. If they had a great experience with you, you know what I mean? That's exactly the energy that you want to be able to do.
Mhm. That's
good.
really good. Yep.
All right.
Super helpful.
Awesome. All right. Well, tell everybody your website so they can check out your beautiful work.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd love to let you come check it out. It's pagetimberworks.com.
Awesome.
And then also we have Instagram.
Yeah, we're also on Instagram and Facebook. So people can follow us there, which would be awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, John and
Yeah.
Kayla, for your time. And I look forward to getting your story out.
Thanks a lot. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Steve.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.